High in Kilmarnock tonight as shareholders meet to thrash out the future of the town's football club. There's been growing discontent since the once mighty Killie dropped into the second division at the end of last season. A consortium headed by the manager's brother wants to revive the club's flagging fortunes with a £450,000 takeover bid, but so far the board has refused to sell.
Take a walk through Kilmarnock town centre and you'll be hard-pressed to find anyone who can understand why the board refused to sell out to a consortium who've pledged to put cash and ambition back into the club.
The board haven't done a great lot for Kilmarnock. With the situation they're in now, they haven't done a great lot over the years for Kilmarnock, and I don't see them changing their policy any. So any change would be a good change.
I am a shareholder and I will be going tonight because I do feel that this is an offer that very difficult to turn down.
That crowd that's in there should have been burnt out, not flung out. That's what I really think. McLaughlin and the rest of them. They've been there too long.
Well, tonight at Rugby Park, the shareholders meet to discuss the takeover bid. The indications are that 4 of the 6 board members who are opposed to the move will win the day, but it'll be a close-run vote. Club chairman Bob Loughlin says he's not against change, it's just that the present package isn't acceptable.
There is some mistaken belief among people that the current board are protecting their own interests. This could not be further from the truth. The current board, as it stands, would quite happily resign from the board of directors if and when we find the person that we consider the man to take over the club.
Well, given that we in fact gave to them the responsibility for writing up the subscription agreement, and that everything they have asked of me we have given them, literally everything. I don't know what more we can do. I mean, I really am confused.
If you fail tonight at the shareholders meeting, which is quite likely, what's your next move?
Failure mathematically is on the books, because we need 75% of the shareholders to say yes. But if we get a massive vote of the people, the shareholders themselves, rather than the actual votes, rather than the actual shares, then that will encourage me to continue with it.
While the shareholders meet tonight in the Killie Club to decide the future, a mass meeting of non-shareholding fans in favour of the takeover is expected to go ahead in an adjoining room.
Action off the field at Rugby Park.
Which currently confronts one of Scottish football's oldest clubs, Kilmarnock. League champions 24 years ago, today real fears for their future. And one of the best gated to the second division and then lost their first 2 competitive matches of the new season, once proud Kilmarnock also find themselves in the throes of a boardroom battle. But the very survival of Scotland's second oldest club could be in question if answers are not found, and quickly.
Flag Day in bustling downtown Kilmarnock, but it is 24 lean years since a flag of the Scottish League Championship variety flew over the home of the one-time provincial kings of our game here at Rugby Park. Instead, this famous old ground is now the battlefield for a boardroom war, a 3-sided power struggle involving the current 4 directors, a consortium led by Bobby Fleeting, that's the brother of manager Jim, and another group headed by one-time Ayr United favourite Alex Ingram. It all means headlines of the wrong variety and fodder for the cartoonists. But no one here at the club sees any of this as a laughing matter.
You get what you deserve out of the game, and unless you work hard and you play the game properly, you won't get what you deserve. Kilmarnock deserve at this moment in time to be in the second division because of our performances last season. And if our performances improve, then we deserve to be in the first division, and so on and so on. So it just depends how well you play. You get in life what you put into it.
What about the supporters, Jim? Because I know there was a lot of unrest, to put it mildly, after your first defeat on Saturday. What would your message be to them?
Well, heaven help the day when they're aiming for me in that mood. It's just patience, Jack. They've just got to be patient with us and patient with the players, and they have been. You know, it's not as if they've not been patient with us. They've been very, very good, and they've let the team carry out on the part what they're trying to do. But they're looking for scores, and looking for scores very, very quickly. And hopefully they'll come.
The patience will pay off.
Definitely, I've no any doubts about that. Other than that, if they don't, it'll be me they'll be shouting for next, and I'll not hang about. If I'm not doing a job here, and I don't think I'm doing a job here, then nobody will need to bellow for my head. I'll go.
But deep down you believe the days of 65 can come back again?
They'll come back. They'll come back. Maybe it'll be 1995 before they're finally win the Premier League, but they'll come back for sure.
The 1965 in question is a year which has haunted Killie teams ever since. A season under Willie Waddell which climaxed in an astonishing last day at Tynecastle when goals from Dave Snedden and Brian McElroy snatched the championship from Hearts and launched a party they still talk about in Ayrshire.
Willie Waddell has gone mad. He's running onto the field. There is Willie Waddell. Right on he goes. There is Willie Waddell, and what a joyful man he must be. Fantastic scenes. Waddell being hugged by supporters, by players, and if ever a man has gone out of Scottish football with a blaze of glory, it's Willie Waddell. Fantastic scenes at Tynecastle.
Well, all of that is for the history books now, and instead Killie find themselves at the centre of a web of intrigue. It's a situation hardly appreciated by supporters like club fanzine editor Richard Cairns, typical of those who can't bear to watch the riches to rags story.
You can see the decline off the field. We haven't made a profit for the last 10 years. The club's finances are in a dreadful state. The decline on the field has carried on as well.
How deep is the anger of the supporters? There were some bad scenes at Rugby Park last week.
The supporters, it's more frustration than anything. It's now nearly a year since this takeover business started. All the supporters are brought up in tales of the great days, and this is what we've got now, second division football.
School teacher Richard Thompson is the major shareholder in the club and an avid fan, but he fears the worst if lessons aren't learned.
The real problems, Chick, really are the fact the club needs change. And change doesn't seem to be something which the present board of directors want to do. An offer was put at the EGM and rejected, and a second EGM was then planned, at which point a counter-offer was made by Mr. Alec Ingram. But no details have been made of that offer. So at the present moment the club is in stalemate.
You're still in the second division and attracting big crowds, but is the future of Kilmarnock Football Club really in the balance here?
Very much so. If the club doesn't sort itself out in the next year or two, they will no doubt, in my mind, go to the wall.
Would-be buyer Alex Ingham declined to face our cameras, but club vice-chairman Derek Leggett can still have fun with son Alistair, even if life is hardly a bundle of laughs.
No, I must admit there's no pleasure in being involved in Kilmarnock at the present time. It's a very difficult and a very strange situation. We've got the financial problems, we want to make changes in the board, and there's factions who want to bring in money and we can't get it in, and we're struggling at the moment to find a solution. The overdraft at the moment is probably towards £280,000, and that's costing £30,000 to £40,000 a year in interest, and that's something we could well do without, and we must get rid of quickly.
Can I ask you, Derek, if the situation were to stay as it is now, is there a real danger that Kilmarnock Football Club could disappear off the face of the earth?
Oh, we just can't contemplate the current situation continue. It must be resolved, and it mustn't take weeks, it must be resolved within days.
But there are those who can raise a smile.
Well, I'm actually quite enjoying it at the moment.
You're quite enjoying it? What would that be?
Well, because I'm an United fan. You know what I mean? So cheers, boys. Long may it continue.
Thank you. Our friend from here is really a man alone, because everyone in this wonderful little town is still praying that everything in the garden could still be lovely for one of Scotland's greatest clubs.
You know, it really is a tragic story, Jim, because the facilities at Rugby Park and the potential support are all there. They should be a premier outfit, Kilmarnock, shouldn't they?
And yet I was down there towards the end of last season, and they're just beginning to look a little bit dishevelled now. The park still looks in good condition, but the stands and the actual terracing's a little bit disrepair now. Yeah. And unless they get their act together very, very quickly, the whole thing could just go.
And some of the great names that have played at Rugby Park.
Oh, indeed, and what worries me, Dougie, is it was a black and white film, and I was playing at that time, but David Snedden and Tommy McLean, Frank Beattie and Jackie McAnally, there's some very good players down there.
Yes, well, let's hope the good times come back for Kilmarnock. But meantime, the distribution of thousands of leaflets in the streets of the town asking fans to boycott tomorrow's second division game against East Stirling. He said, boycotts don't help anybody. I would ask the fans to back the club while we sort all this out. There will be major decisions made over the future of Kilmarnock on Monday. The board has to take the lead now, and there will be an extraordinary general meeting called within the next 4 weeks, at which we will unveil our proposals. If they are carried, then fine. If not, I would expect the board to resign. And I've got to say, Jim, that I can understand the Kilmarnock fans' frustration, but I mean, I'm with the chairman there. I don't think boycotts serve any useful purpose.
No, I don't think they serve any purpose at all, do you? There's a lack of money going in through the gates for a start, and of course there's no atmosphere for the club to try and to raise the players. And I think it would be a very stupid thing for them to do.
The fans should go along tomorrow.
I think so.
Long last, the boardroom squabbles have been settled, a new team is at the helm and a significant new signing has been made. Chick Young went to see how the mood among those long-suffering Killie fans has changed.
There's a new Kilmarnock bonnet, except this one is attached to 4 wheels, a chassis and an engine in the shape of a Japanese car. It's the reward and offer in a free raffle for the Born Again Rugby Park support to celebrate the christening of Tommy Burns as a Killie player. And if the cynics might suggest that a car this size would have carried the entire support of the troubled Ayrshire club in recent weeks, then manager Jim Fleeting is sure he's back on the straight and narrow again.
Yeah, it's a new era. It starts from last week when they took over. They're actually saying it started on Tuesday night after the big meeting the fans had in the Grand Hall recently, and the introduction of Tommy Burns as well. It just shows what our target is now, and that's to be a bigger club than we are at this minute in time.
Well, by taking in Tommy Burns, I think you did prove how much you're going to spend, but can we expect other big names to come? You've been linked with Paul Hegarty, of course. Yeah,
we've got to try. You've got to keep trying to improve. And now we've set our stall out. They know the type of player we're trying to bring here, and we'll continue to do so. There's not too many Tommy Burns about, though. You know, there is only one Tommy Burns we're delighted to get a hold of him.
I'll give Kilmarnock Football Club everything that I gave to Celtic Football Club, both on and off the field, and I can't do any more than that.
Well, I think, Jim, you would go along with that. If Tommy Burns can do it for Kilmarnock, what he did for Celtic, you'll be a very happy man.
It'll be absolutely magnificent. You know, we're liking what Kevin Keegan did at Newcastle, what Dave Mackay done at Derby. Tommy Burns will do it at Celtic Park, Rugby Park, I've no doubts about that.
And I've been very impressed with the professionalism of Kilmarnock Football Club, the people that run it, the coaching staff, and they're a good bunch of lads, great facilities, and it's only 15 minutes down the road for me, so it's perfect for me.
Yes, he may be at the veteran stage, but there's a lot of football life left in Tommy Burns before he's forced to hang up those boots.